I am Sue Webley. Welcome to another episode of Inspire. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but when I hear that intro, it doesn't matter how tired I am. Welcome to another episode of Inspire. I'm so glad that you are here hanging out with me on a Saturday morning. I don't take that lightly, especially if you are joining us from the West Coast or the Midwest. Thank you for joining us. If you just stumbled upon this broadcast, you all know who I am. I'm your host, Sue A. Webley. I believe in the power of words, wisdom, and witness, and that's exactly what Inspire is all about. So each Saturday morning at 10 a.m., we host space for honest and soulful and often transformative conversations with guests from all walks of life: entrepreneurs, artists, thought leaders, organizers, and everyday people who are living boldly and authentically. We explore topics that matter, from mental health and identity to faith, business, and healing. Whether we are spotlighting community leaders or celebrating personal triumphs, Inspire is rooted in the power of story and the belief that when we speak our truth, we light the way for others. Right now, we are live on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Twitch, and did I say YouTube? And YouTube. We allow all the places. So I want to invite you to connect, follow, like, and subscribe. If you've been following me on Cara Solutions LLC, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm building up the Inspire with Sue W platform. And so I invite you to follow me on Facebook and Instagram for the time that we are here, because, stuff is happening in the world. We might need to, we got to create our own things. But for now, we are on Facebook and Instagram. So follow us there at Inspire with Sue W. You could also go to our website at www.getinspired.live. There you can find out all about the show. You can watch all of our previous episodes, and you can subscribe to our newsletter, because we don't want you to miss anything. We don't want you to miss a thing. So I invite you to do that. Before I go any further, if you've been, I'm not home, okay? My studio's not behind me, so I'm hanging out in Baltimore. I left Chile, Ohio, and I'm hanging out in Baltimore at Freedom Rising, Hosanna to Holy Defiance. Can I see that? Oh, you probably see the church. This is our T-Fam. Shout out to all my T-Fam crew. This is our East Coast region conference. And I'm hanging out with the kids. So shout out to the Sankofa Faith Children's Initiative. The t-shirts. Now I had to give my t-shirt away because we had an extra kid, but I'm gonna show it right here. So shout out to the kids. If you hear any banging, that's what's happening over there on that side. Okay. Instagram, I see you. Thank you for joining. Do me a favor and share this broadcast today, because we don't want anyone to miss it. So y'all know how I do. If you joined us for a long time, or if you just joined it, what are you stepping on? Hey, Chuck Jones, it's so good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, hanging out Palm Springs. I'm jealous. I was there a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, at the end of January. I was in Palm Springs. Yeah, so it's very nice. It's beautiful out here in Baltimore. But what you sipping on, Chuck? What you got in your cup? Now, y'all know I always have my Inspire cup or some inspirational thing. I'm not home, y'all, so I got the little generic, okay? Don't judge me. But I got coffee in my cup. You know I always going to have coffee in my cup. Now, it's usually decaf, but this is not decaf because guess what? Sue had 3 hours of sleep and needed some caffeine this morning. So I don't have, it's not non-caffeinated. It got caffeine in it. Bless the Lord. Chuck, you still in bed? Okay, listen, that's fine. That's fine. If you're watching, I see some of you viewing. I want to shout you out, so let me know that you're watching. Let me know that you're watching. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know what's in your cup. Is it water? Is it tea? Is it coffee? Is it orange juice? Is it a smoothie? If it's something stronger, I'm not judging you. Just let me know what you're sipping on and where you are joining us from. So we are living in a time like where, relationships are being tested in real ways, right? If anyone is in a relationship that's watching, our relationships are being tested, right? So between everything happening in our world, economic pressure, shifting roles, social media, constant comparison, and just the weight of everyday life, connection can feel harder than it used to. People are busy, right? We busy, y'all. We're tired, right? So much happening. Not even tired just physically, but mentally and emotionally and spiritually, right? And so if we're honest, a lot of people are just navigating relationships in survival mode instead of joy. We lean into joy here at Inspire, right? But a lot of us are just in survival mode. We're kind of just surviving. We do the same routine day in, day out. We're just kind of navigating around each other, right? And the thing is, we like to talk about, love. You love this person, so you're going to stay with this person. But love, I have learned over the years that love by itself is not enough. Love is not enough. Okay? I'm sure our guest is going to talk about it, right? Love is not enough because relationships require intention. They require communication. They require growth. And sometimes they require us to unlearn things we thought were true about love in the first place, right? So today we're talking about what it really takes to build something that lasts, not just a relationship that looks good, right? Not just a relationship that y'all be putting on social media, okay? You put your best face, you put your best face forward on social media. We're not talking about that. We want to talk about relationships that are healthy and whole and rooted in purpose. And so, we are going to introduce our guest. I'm so excited. I'm excited to talk about this, y'all. We're going to introduce our guest today. Today's guests are doing powerful work, helping couples move from just getting by to truly being better together. Michael and Michelle Cooper are the founders of C2B1 Ministry, Couples Committed and Better Together. They have been married for over 30 years, y'all. Over 30 years. They have raised 5 children and built a ministry rooted in faith, connection, and intentional partnership. Intentional, right? I'm sure that word is going to come up a lot more. Their belief is simple but powerful. You pray like it's on God, but you work like it's on you. I love that, and I need y'all to unpack that when you come on later on in our conversation. I need to unpack that. I love that slogan. And through coaching, workshops, and retreats, they're helping couples build stronger relationships, stronger families, and ultimately stronger communities. And so as we prepare to welcome Michael and Michelle to Inspire, let's take a look at one of their marriage nuggets.
Hello, everyone. I'm Coach Michelle.
And Coach Michael.
And we're just here to bring you your marriage moment for today.
And the marriage moment for today is get into the swing of things. A lot of times in life, whether you are in a new marriage, new relationship, new babies come, new careers come, new retirement come, you have to get into the swing of things. Take a moment to understand where you are, what direction you want to go, and slowly get into the swing of things.
Absolutely. And remember, when you're swinging, you're not just rocking back and forth aimlessly. You want to have momentum. You want to give yourself a push. want to boost each other up.
Right, and don't drag your feet when somebody else is moving forward. It's real easy sometimes when you don't know where you're going, to can't understand the direction that you're going, to kind of drag your feet to slow the momentum down. Get into the swing of things and keep moving forward.
Until next time, your nourishment.
Listen, I love that. Welcome to the show, Michael and Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Get into the swing of things, right?
Yes,
I mean, and it was awesome that you guys were actually on the swing. And
he was slowing me down. He see his foot on the ground. Let's pick up the pace. Oh.
The swing was making noise.
But thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know it's going to be like a great conversation. And I know it's going to help somebody today. So again, those of you who are watching, wherever you're joining us from, if you have a question, if you have a comment, please feel free to post that. And if we have time at the end of our time together, we will be sure to have Michael and Michelle respond to those questions and comments and share with someone. Hi, Rissa. Oh yeah, I forgot y'all Rissa's parents. She says hi to do us a favor and share. So before we get into our conversation, Michael and Michelle, what are you sipping on this morning? What you got in your cup or in your bottle?
So definitely have some tea. Mike makes me tea every morning, and I love it.
All right, what kind of tea?
I don't know what you meant.
Just regular old plain black tea. She don't do anything fancy. Yeah, I have a huge tea collection. She only drink plain tea.
But it tastes different every day.
And I drink coffee with an extra shot.
Oh, is that? Let me. I gotta put this in solo layout so we can see.
There we go.
So better
Come
together.
on now, better together.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to give me a cup.
You have an Inspire cup.
Well, listen. I know.
Wait, at home.
I'm gonna send you an Inspire cup, but you know, I need to purchase me one of those cups just to have for my collection, because I will drink out of it on during the broadcast. So, all right. So tell us a little bit about Couples Committed and Better Together. What inspired you? What was the catalyst that inspired you to engage in this kind of work?
So Couples Committed, they are together, right? It actually came into existence by accident. It happened. 3 couples, us and 2 other couples, got together Swedish Day 2007, just for dinner conversation. And we talked to like 2 a.m, like just talking about relationship, life. And so we decided to do it the next month, and we each invited a couple, and it just grew from there. We started each month meeting, talking, at someone's house, and realizing that life is lifing, even though we weren't saying it back then, and relationships were struggling. And we needed each other, to build each other up. We needed each other to just make it to the next month sometime. Yeah. So those conversations just kept going. And then we formed the actual ministry of Couples Committed to Becoming One. And since 2012, we've been doing yearly retreats. I want to say how better together.
Yeah, I mean, it's great because in the entirety of C2B1, we've been talking with couples, working with couples, doing one-on-ones with couples as well as group sessions. We kind of became the leaders of the ministry again by accident. That's a different story. So what we decided was, at a certain point, we wanted to formalize what we did in the coaching space, because we were doing it anyway. Couples were calling us at 1 a.m, 2 a.m, 1 p.m. while we were at work. So we were already coaching, and as much as my wife said she didn't want to coach, I had to explain to her, you're already doing it. Let's go ahead and formalize this thing and do it the right way.
Thank you for sharing. I want to say to those of you who are watching, I know that Michael and Michelle, you center on a certain demographic in terms of relationships, but if you are in a relationship, period, because We are all inclusive over here in Aspire. And I know if you're in a relationship, period, that you can find something that is said today, that is shared today, that's going to help you in your relationship. So thank you again, Michael and Michelle. 30 plus years.
Yeah.
Oh, is it 33, 34? How many years now?
We'll be 35 in October.
Jesus. 35 years of marriage. That's not a small thing, right? What would you say has sustained your relationship through different seasons of life?
So initially, whenever you ask that question, people almost always say God. But for those who aren't believers, for those who, which at a season I was mad at my husband, also mad at God.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give that answer, even though that's true. That's 100%. You would not make it without God. But it was my willingness not to give up. Mm-hmm. It was my commitment to my husband as well as God. It was my commitment to myself. So, I mean, that really kept me, because I'm like, I can do this if I want to. I can do this if I try day by day instead of worrying about what's going to happen next week, next year, next month. I have to focus on the individual day. Lord, let me get through this day. We'll worry about tomorrow when tomorrow get here. So that was for me.
I know for me, I made a choice. I knew several things. I knew I wanted to be a husband. I knew I wanted a wife. Had no idea how to be a husband. Had no idea how to be a father. And I knew I never wanted to be out of the household from my kids, or my wife. So for me, I just made a choice each and every day. I needed God to strengthen me. I needed God to guide me. I needed God to grow me. Mm-hmm. But I made a choice each and every day to wake up, stay, and fight for my marriage. Wake up and stay and fight, because for everybody, whether you leave or whether you go, it's a choice. It's literally a choice. Both choices can be hard. Both choices can be. There's no people who will say, "Well, you went out the easy way. You took the easy route." There's no easy route.
Yeah. There's
no easy route. Which hard do you want?
Which hard do you want? I love that. I love that you talked about choice, because it literally is a choice. You have to choose it, right? I said earlier, and I know we'll talk about it, that love is not enough, right? So after you get together and everything is all lovey-dovey, all of that stuff is designed to kind of get you together, right? But what the real work starts when the honeymoon season, right? When it kind of fades out and the real work starts, and you have to choose to do the work, not only together, right? But on yourself. And a lot of people don't understand that if you don't work, if you don't know who you are, if you don't work on yourself, on your triggers, on your baggage, all of that, then you are no good in a relationship. You will not be able to sustain a relationship if you have not worked on yourself, right? And so I love what you said about it being a choice. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
What would you say? What do you think, rather, some people believe about marriage and believe about relationships that is completely wrong?
That it's going to change either you or your spouse. If I get married, everything's going to work out. It will if you work it out. When I get married, you're going to do this, that, and the other. Not necessarily true. Because even if I change for a moment to appease you, the real me is going to show up at some point. And then you're going to be like, oh, you changing. You changed after we got married. No, I'm just being me that you didn't allow me to be in the beginning. Or that I didn't allow myself to be because I was trying to please you.
That part.
Yeah.
So I think that's like the biggest myth. Like, oh, once we get married, things are going to change.
Yeah.
They will, but you may not like that change.
Right.
And I think we live in a happily ever after society. We've all grown up with this, just get married, just fall in love, it'll be happily ever after. And nobody ever promised that you were going to be happy. Even the Bible only promised you joy. It never promised you happiness. It promised you joy, everlasting joy. And you have to have that joy within yourself and build it up within you and you can't expect someone to come into your world and give you something that you don't have within yourself. If you're not happy within yourself, it's not your spouse's responsibility to pour that into you. You know, and don't get me wrong, we should make each other. We should endeavor to please each other, endeavor to do things to make each other smile, endeavor to serve each other. But it's not her job to make me happy. It's not my job to make her happy.
Y'all hear that? Because that is so important. Oh my goodness. I hear it all the time. Oh, you made me. Yes. I want you to add to my happiness. I need to be happy for me. Right. And that's not saying that we can't journey together. Yeah. Because, we get together still having stuff. Right. Some people are in therapy for years, and I'm a proponent of therapy.
Yes.
Therapy. Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
So but if we're working on ourselves, right, we can journey together while working on ourselves. And as we become better while working on ourselves, then the relationship gets better, right? But absolutely that happiness, you gotta have it. You gotta have it for yourself. You gotta find it, and don't lose yourself. And I'm probably jumping ahead, but if very often we lose ourselves in a relationship, right? We stop doing the things that make us happy. We stop talking to the family. We stop talking to the friends. We stop doing things that brought us the happiness before we got together. And it's important to maintain your individuality. Not saying that now that your relationship is still me, I. It is we,
right?
But there should be. You should still have that sense of individuality so that you can still explore the things that brought you happiness, right? Again, that comes back into the relationship when both of you are exploring happiness for yourself. So thank you for that. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. So yeah, let's get into this this slogan that I hear that you say: pray like it's on God, but work like it's on you. Talk about that.
So many times, and I'll relate it to life in general. For instance, I want a job, right? But you have to, and you pray to God, oh Lord, please give me a job so I can take care of my family. I can do this. But you're not filling out any applications. Once you fill out the application, you're not following up. You're not showing up your best self for the interview, right? So it's the same thing in your marriage. I want a good marriage. I want, us to be happy. I want us to do all these trips, but you're not applying yourself to afford those opportunities to your union. But you're praying on God, give me the best husband, give me the best wife, make my relationship. But you're not doing anything to assist. Not that God need our assistance, because he can do it without us. But when we say pray like it's on God, yes, you pray for it, but you have to do the work to obtain it. You can pray all day, but if you don't get up and make it happen, you're slowing yourself down. You delaying the inevitable, which is failure.
Yeah, and one thing you mentioned the individuality. A lot of people fiercely hold on to their individuality, and to a fault, meaning they try to stay connected to people who have long since moved away from the season that they're in now. When you become a we, you have to evaluate. I tell people all the time, people who love you will hurt you. People who love you will hurt you because they love you. They're trying to protect you. They're trying to stop you from doing things. They're trying to stop you from going places. And a lot of times they don't understand the season that you're in.
Yeah.
And there are some people, family and friends, that you have to learn to love from a distance. And make an intentional choice to say, hey, I love you, but you can't be in the middle of this right now, right, or at all. I know you're used to being right here, but you can't be right here right now, because this spot is filled. This spot is filled. It's going to be filled. And if you're uncomfortable with that, it's okay. I love you, but we have to love each other from a distance.
Yeah. That's absolutely, setting those boundaries are really important, right? And some people get offended, like when you set a boundary. Oh, I'm your family. I'm your mama. Right? I'm this
Yes,
person
you
to
are.
you. Yep, and you still are that, right?
Yeah.
But this is the boundary, and it's okay. And and I know you have a feeling about it. And I know you have emotions about it, and you'll be all right. It'll go away.
That's okay too.
It's
It
fun.
will
It's funny.
go away.
You mentioned parents. I remember very early in our marriage, my mom used to always ask me when she would ask me something. Did you talk to Michelle about that? Did you ask your wife about that? She would always defer to my wife. She would always make sure I talked to my wife about it. She always asked me that question. Whenever I remember one time we were going somewhere, and at the time she could not really shouldn't have been sitting in the back seat of the car. She needed to be in the front. Her and Michelle arguing about who's gonna sit in the front seat. Michelle wanted her to sit in the front seat because she needed to be in the front. She's like, "No, baby, you get up there and sit." I'm like, "Well, y'all just get in the car." So she was really a proponent of that, of helping me see the importance of putting my wife first.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thanks, Mama. So we talked earlier about seasons, right? Different seasons. But when we talk about seasons, we also have to talk about versions, right? We are different people. There's different versions of ourselves, right? That come up over the years. We're all should be constantly growing, trying to do better, than we did yesterday, right? So there's always different versions, and we have to figure out how to love those different versions, right? The person that you were 5 years ago is not the person that you are today. So how have you both learned to fall in love with who each other is becoming and not just who you were?
So I'll start first.
That's fine.
We talk about the representative in the beginning of the relationship, who gives, they all put everything in and then slowly fades away. I've learned to accept Michael for who he is at that time. So this month he may be able to give 100% because he's feeling good and he's running on. And the next month I can't expect him to do that if that's not where he is, because we never know what your spouse is going through, mentally, physically. And so instead of saying, well, why are you not doing this? I'm accepting him for who he is in this season. Now, if it's a drastic change, we're going to address that. But if it's just, you're not making me tea every morning like you normally do, okay, you can skip a few mornings, but the third morning, dude, who you making tea for, right? But I mean, it's just a matter of evaluating the season and realizing that if your spouse or your partner has changed, you may have changed too, and they could be just reacting off of you. So, I mean, and this took time to learn. It's not something like it clicked up. I had to say, okay, maybe this season for us to relax. Maybe this is the season for us to, travel and journey and explore the thing. Maybe it's this season just for us. So, I mean, it's just a matter of being a student of your spouse is what we call it.
Yeah,
being a student.
I love that.
Yeah.
Michael?
Yeah, and I know for me or for us, it's about giving grace and understanding that no person is going to be the same person that they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years, definitely not 30 years ago. You're not the same person. Your likes change, your taste buds change. When we first got married, I was a drinker. I don't drink anymore. So there's a lot where we go change. We don't, you don't do some of the things you used to do. You don't say some of the things you used to say. Things are different. And a lot of people will say, well, they changed. Yeah, they did. They're supposed to. It's okay. And a lot of people have a hard time accepting the fact that people change.
Yeah. They changed and you should have changed too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But you know what? It's funny you mentioned that because we've seen people in their 60s, in their 70s, who still model behaviors of teenagers. They never changed. Relationship-wise, they've never changed.
Yeah. I love all of that. And as you were talking, it made me remember something that friends of ours, my friends Paris and Ishay. Well, Ishay has since transitioned, but they told a story about bacon, and that Paris loved bacon, and so every day, Ishay would make Paris bacon, right? And all of a sudden, there was one day that Ishay made Paris bacon, and Paris was like, "Well, what is this? I don't want that. I don't want bacon." So she was like, "Well, when were you going to update me that this had changed?" And so it's important as we are changing, right? And if we know ourselves, if we are aware of ourselves, so it's about self-awareness as well, right? Yeah. If we know that some things are shifting and changing in us, we have to update our spouse, our partner, update them.
Yes.
Right. So they're not blindsided over the fact that you no longer love bacon. Right. And yeah, so I love that about change. We should be changing, we should be growing, we should not. I mean, if you are, I don't know, if you're the same person that you were, I don't know.
You may have the same character, you may have the same underlying person, same character, nice, that kind of stuff. But people change. People, some folks aren't as mean as they used to be. Some folks aren't as nice as they used to be.
Yeah. People change. Again, thank you, all of you who are joined us. Let me just check Instagram, make sure I don't see any questions or comments. But if you have a question, if you have a comment for Michael and Michelle, please post it. We'll be sure to have them respond to those questions before we end our time together. So let's talk about comparison, right? Social media and outside voices. Okay. Again, I said earlier, we got the best relationship on social media. We happy smiles. We just, there's nothing wrong. That's the thing that we present on social media. And that is not necessarily the case, right? So how do you protect your relationship from outside voices, from social media, from other people's opinions, expectations? How do you protect your relationship from that? Because when we see other people doing well and we're not doing so well in our own relationship, we might feel some kind of way, right? Just like, okay, I wish we were like them, and we don't know what's happening, behind closed doors. So how do you protect your marriage from that?
What I will say is that several things. Comparison kills. Literally, put social media aside. You can't live your life, you can't live your relationship based on someone else's highlight reels. Even before social media, if you're talking to somebody, you're only hearing the good stuff. You're only seeing the good stuff. You don't see what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know about the arguments. You don't know about the fights. You don't know about the struggles. People will tell us all the time, relationship goals, marriage goals. We want what you have. Well, do you want the struggle it took for us to get here? Mm-hmm. Do you want to go through some of the same things we had to go through to get to where we are? It's great to have relationship goals, but you have to put in relationship work. And you can't. You have to set those boundaries before social media. You have to. If you have those boundaries in your life, when it comes to social media, you'll maintain the same boundaries. You'll maintain the same, and you'll recognize that people put their best foot forward. Yeah. So when you look on social media, you're seeing their best. Mm-hmm. You're seeing. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on in their world. You don't know if that food really tastes good. It just look good.
That's with a filter,
right? Right. And I mean, you mentioned filters. There, as a photographer, I think it was about 5 years ago, I was taking people's pictures, and people was like, "Well, that's not the way. Can you change? Can you do this?" I'm like, this is the way you look. People are so used to seeing themselves behind filters that they don't know what they don't know what they look like anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and people are so used to on social media putting that good foot forward about their relationship, they don't know what their relationship is anymore.
Yeah. Thank you for that. That's so important. I'm looking at it's great to have relationship goals, but you got to do the relationship work. Thank you, Chuck.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What is something couples struggle with that they don't talk enough about?
Effective communication.
Mm.
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah, I heard you. Yeah, I heard you. But are you listening? Because I can hear things around me, but I'm not listening to everything there. And so when they don't have that effective communication, it breaks down their relationship, but they don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
So our thing is be present in each other's presence, meaning just because we're sitting here together, are we available for one another? Or are you scrolling through Facebook and I'm scrolling through TikTok? No, I want to be present when I'm in his presence. So, I mean, and it's a few years ago, like all of a sudden, when I would talk to Mike, he would just stop whatever he was doing, like give me his full attention. You know, it's like he can be making a cup of coffee, he'll put the spoon down, turn around and look. You know, we're present in each other's presence. So we have effective communication because we're actually listening.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say this too, I listen with my heart. Because if you ask somebody how you feeling, oh, I'm good. That sounds good. But if I listen with my heart and not just my ears, I can know that I'm good means I'm not really good, but I'm going to tell you I'm good so you think I'm good. So effective communication.
I love that. You have anything to add, Michael?
I think there's a lot of people who are not safe. And not a physical safety. Physical safety is the issue for some people, but I mean, their marriage is not a safe space for them, and they're afraid to talk about it. They're afraid to talk about the fact that they don't feel like they can say what they want to say, be who they truly are, because they have spent so much time as the representative. Their spouse really doesn't know them. Wow. They don't know each other. And you have to, at some point in your marriage, because you are going to be who you are. And, you know, you and your spouse have to literally accept your spouse for who they are, good and bad. And if the bad may need to change, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not saying you can, you overlook things, but I'm saying that there's a lot of people who are suffering in silence with somebody who's supposed to be the person that they can rely on and trust the most.
Yeah. And that being transparent about that is so vitally important, right? Because it leads to your healing. Right. Yes. And so, we can't keep things like that to ourselves. I talk about therapy. You might need to go to therapy for it, right? Yes. You got to talk to somebody about it. You can't keep it to yourself, right? I love it. This is such a rich conversation so far. We're going to take a break for you all to take a sip of your tea and for me to do some housekeeping, and we'll be back with more conversation with Michael and Michelle Cooper. Thank you all for joining us this morning. I want to again invite you to connect, follow, like, and subscribe. Again, if you follow us on Cara Solutions LLC, thank you. I'm building up the Inspire with Sue W platform, and if you're so inclined, please follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. You can also head over to our website at www.getinspired.live. There you can watch all of our previous episodes, find out more about the show, and subscribe to our newsletter. We don't want you to miss a thing that's happening with Inspire. Also, if you or someone you know are on a mission to create change while inspiring others to do the same, we want to hear from you. I want to sit across from you in this virtual space. Okay, I want you to join us in a future episode of Inspire. So again, you could head over to our website at www.getinspired.live. You could book your appearance right on our website. So go to our website, click on Be Our Guest, and fill out that intake form, and a member of our team will get back to you. Now, we do this every time that we are live. Our sibling and community needs a kidney, and I believe that the community can help her do just that. So, Pastor Yanni, Peace Pastor, Reverend Yanni, however, poet, however you know Yanni, or if you don't, I'm introducing her to you. If you don't know her, she needs a kidney. She needs a kidney. And we believe that we can do it together. So she's in search of potential donors who are fairly healthy, who have the blood types A or O, and the courage to commit to surgery and help save a life. And she'd love to share the safety measures with you. And so if you would like to reach out to Yanni and her family, you can do so at peacepeopleinc@gmail.com. That's peacepeopleinc@gmail.com. You can also head over to EmeryLivingDonor.org, fill out the survey, and enter her name, Ayana Davis. If you know of an organization or of a resource, please let us know about it. Please send us that information so that we can get it to Yanni. So you may not have a kidney to give, but you might have some information to give, and that helps too. Okay, so yeah, if you know anything, resource, organization, please let us know about it so that we can help our Yanni get a kidney. And also Cara Solutions, that's my baby, helping you navigate the digital space with confidence. And we are a full service digital agency specializing in helping our clients achieve their goals through consultation and training, content and social media management, graphic and web design, and live stream and podcast production. If you want to learn more, you can schedule a consultation by heading to our website at www.cara-solutions.com, or you can email us directly at info@cara-solutions.com. So we are going to get back into some more conversation. Listen, I've been having such a good time talking to Michael and Michelle, and we have a little bit more conversation for you today. So let's get back to it. Welcome back. Welcome back again. Thank you for joining us this morning. It's been so good already, and I know that someone who's watching or will catch us in the replay is helping someone today, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it. So let's see what I want to talk about now. I'm trying to, because I'm skipping over some things, and I want to know. I'm trying to figure out where I want to go next. So yeah, let's talk about what you actually do for couples. Okay, so you offer coaching and retreats and workshops. What are some of the key tools or principles you teach couples to help them reconnect?
Yeah. As far as coaching, we talk about, we really focus on there's a difference between coaching and counseling. Mm-hmm. Let's start there. Coaching is more forward-looking. It focuses on growth, focuses on action. We take couples where they are and help guide them to where they want to be and where they need to be. And we are real quick to say, you know what, you need to go sit down with a professional therapist to handle that issue. That's not our wheelhouse. It's okay. It's okay if you're a pastor, you need therapy.
Can you say, wait, I need to, that right there, we just need to put the alpha in place. Can we? We need to say that again, okay? Because just because you're the pastor, that doesn't mean you don't need to go sit in the therapist's office.
Yeah, I mean, because every pastor needs a pastor. Every coach needs a coach.
Yes.
You know, you need somebody that can help you navigate the minefields of life.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, I remember really, just to kind of side note here, I remember early in ministry, it was midway ministry. I was sitting in a leadership session with ministers and deacons and pastors, and I mentioned, it was right after my mom had passed away, and I had mentioned depression, I'd mentioned therapy, and it was, you would have thought it was, I said something sacrilege, you know, because it was like, well, all you have to do is pray. You just pray and God will bring you out of it. I said, well, yeah, prayer is good, but sometimes prayer is not enough. Sometimes you have to go sit down and
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even Jesus told people to get off your knees and go to work. I mean, you know, so you have to. We help. For us, it is very intentional. We are very intentional with couples about doing the work. About doing the work. A lot of people get tools, they get tips, they get guidelines, they get books, they get stories, but they don't do the work.
And that work simple. We're working on, like I say, effective communication. We're active listening. We're working on sharing, because some of, like you said before, some of it's still in the me syndromes, but now it's 2 incomes supposedly, or maybe, or hopefully, and sometimes it's just one, and it's 2 cars, but I'm taking this one today, you taking that one tomorrow, and it's sometimes blended families. You have your kids, I have my kids, and so you have to work on sharing. Whereas before it was like, it's all about me. We're working on your emotional side, because if you're no good for yourself, how can you be good for someone else?
Yeah.
Working on your spiritual side, your connection, you know, vertical versus horizontal. So, I mean, it's just a lot of different things, but everything we do, even in our monthly fellowship, sometimes they're, you know, game nights, sometimes they're chili cook-offs, we always have some type of tip or tool, but it has an activity attached to it that you have to implement it starting that night, because we're not going to trust it. I give you a paper, you take it home, you're going to do it. No, you're going to do it right here. And then you can go home and tweak it or redo it or, you know, whatever. But we want you to be active in your relationship.
Yeah. That whole faith without works is there. Yeah, you could have, and people stop at faith. You know, people stop at just having faith. But the work is, sometimes the work is going to therapy. Sometimes the work is going to the doctor. Sometimes the work is taking that medicine. Sometimes that's the work, right? And all of that is what helps our faith to kind of grow, right? When we do the work, it's not, you can have faith, you can believe all day, but if you're not doing any work, all of that, it doesn't mean anything, because you're not actually doing some work. So let's talk about intimacy, right? A lot of people equate intimacy with sex, right? And intimacy is so much deeper than just, you know, the physical. Why is that? Why is intimacy so important? And how can couples, if they've lost that, how can they rebuild it?
I would say intimacy is actually what it says. Into me, see. So I have to see what's on the inside in order to address it. So again, that's part of being a student of your spouse. It's part of getting to know each other. Most times when the intimacy has fallen is because you become disconnected. So now reconnect. You know, it may just be bringing me a cup of tea in the morning. It may just be, you know, rubbing your shoulder. You know, it doesn't, like I say, have to be
right there.
It doesn't have to always be sex. Washing dishes, you know, folding laundry, taking a walk through the park, just getting to know your spouse in this season.
And distractions. A lot of people feel like they can go outside of their marriage and get not have an affair, but get poured into emotionally by other people of the opposite sex. That, well, this is just my friend. You're taking the best of you, you're giving it to other people, and you're coming home and don't have anything left for your spouse, or that space is filled already, or you formed a connection with someone else. Yeah, I'm not cheating, but you formed that connection. You've given all that intimate time to someone else that you don't have anything left for your spouse, and people don't understand that hurts.
Yeah,
you're spending all that time. You poured out that conversation. You spent 60 minutes in somebody else's face, and don't have time for your spouse at home.
No. And you open the door to some things, like when
Absolutely.
You do, right. You open the door to some things. And one of the things that I realized, I said earlier that we're tired, right? And you said, Michelle, life is life, and life be life-ing, we're working, some of us are in school, like we have really, really busy lives. And it's easy to just, come home and be like, okay, I'm so tired, right? I don't want to do anything. I don't want to talk. I just want to sit. I just want to watch TV, just kind of get into yourself. And so there's that intent, you got to be intentional about it. I used to feel like I shouldn't have to schedule time for us. I used to feel that way. Yeah. But now, absolutely. What day you put on the calendar?
But be on the calendar.
It's okay to put on the calendar.
Yes.
Right.
I had to learn that. People feel like there needs to be spontaneity, and there's nothing wrong with being spontaneous. Yeah. But at different phases and different seasons of your life, you have to be like you said, intentional about it. Yeah. That calendar on the fridge, the calendar in the room needs to say, hey, on Tuesday night, we're gonna have dinner, and we're gonna come home, we're gonna have dessert.
Listen, that deserves another. Come on, desserts.
We like to call it worship. We call it worship now.
Well, we can have a whole other show about that. But let me go. But our time was winding down. So I asked every guest on Inspire This because I talked about joy earlier, and it really matters to me. Joy is joy is resistance, right? And I think so many of us have need to lean into that. And so especially when the world is so heavy, when everything around us is chaotic, right? Especially in this administration where, I'm not gonna call the man's name, but there's a lot of not knowing, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of worry, right? And how can joy combat that, right? What role does joy play in your marriage? And how do you believe joy, leaning into that joy can combat all of the stuff that's going crazy in the world?
You have to be self-aware first. You have to know what you're looking for, what makes you happy, what brings joy to you. I can't expect to be happy myself or for Mike to make me happy if I don't even know what makes me happy. Mm-hmm. Where do you want to go to eat? Because some people say, well, if I go to my favorite restaurant, that brings me joy. But if you don't know what your favorite restaurant is, when you get to a place that you don't want to go, you're still sad because that's not really what you wanted anyway. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But it's because you didn't know what you wanted. So you have to find joy within yourself in order to experience it outside of, the comfort of your little circle that you put yourself in, because nothing you say or do is going to make me happy because I don't know what makes me happy. Mm-hmm. I may smile. I may say I'm enjoying it, but is that really deep down inside bringing me joy? You have to self-awareness. Mm-hmm. Tap in.
Yeah. Thank you, Michelle. Michael?
I can only think of the joy of the Lord. The joy of the Lord is my strength. It is literally finding joy in the word, joy in prayer, having God build you up in such a way that outside influences don't tear you down. outside influences don't tear you down. I think about, it's funny. I think about the Black community as a whole right now, and how we have collectively decided that, hey, we just gonna chill. We're just gonna watch it burn, if you will. It doesn't mean it's not happening. It doesn't mean it's not going to affect us. It just means that we are in a place that we've always been.
Mm-hmm.
We've been in a place that we've always been, and they're going to do what everybody else is going to do what they're going to do. And that's the way we have to be in our marriage. I mean, if we have financial issues, great. It's good. We recognize there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train. We literally have to have the joy of knowing that no matter what we're going through, no matter what we're dealing with, no matter what season we're in, God is going to bring us out.
Mm-hmm.
When I was laying in the hospital bed, and I talk about this all the time. When I was laying in the hospital bed last year, after going through a radical surgery for prostate cancer, I looked up. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't function barely, but I looked up and I looked over, and she was right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that God gave her the strength to help me get through everything I needed to get through right then and there, because I couldn't even help myself at that moment in time. So yeah, it's knowing that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train.
I love it. Thank you. As we wrap up, I got 2 last questions for you. Who apologizes first?
Not me.
Yeah, me.
I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it. I gotta analyze to see if it was my fault first, and that takes a couple days.
Wow.
Oh, it takes a couple days. Okay,
A couple weeks.
Couple weeks. Oh my goodness. So, Mikey, you always apologizing first?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm quick to. I'm ready to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
So the quicker we can get through it, the better I feel.
All right. And who thinks they're always right?
Probably me, because I am. No, I'm just playing.
He would try to convince you the sky is green. Like, dude, it's not green. But if you look at it from this angle, no, it's not green. Like, he would really try to have you believe that he's right. Yes. No, that's not right. That's diabolical.
Thank you both so much for hanging out with me, hanging out with us in the audience this morning. Tell the people where to find you.
Go ahead.
Well, you can find us at c2b1ministry.com. Again, c2b1ministry.com. If you go there, our coaching is there. Our Better Connection experience is there. You can download our free ebook that we're offering right now, right on our homepage, right from there. If you desire to reach out to us, our phone number is 708-872-OGOD, 708-872-0463.
Mm-hmm. I love it. And they can find you on social media as well, right? You're on Instagram.
On social media, Facebook C2B1, Facebook and Instagram C2B1.
And Better Together Coaching.
Oh, and we also have Better Together Coaching on Instagram.
Okay, wonderful. And you have a group on Facebook?
Yes.
Yes. C2B1.
C2B1.
So everything is C2. Okay. Listen, if you are married, if you're coupled, if you're in a relationship, I invite you to go ahead and check out Michael and Michelle Cooper and their ministry, and I think it will help you out. So if you need it, they're there to help you out. Thank you again, Michael and Michelle. Thank you for reminding us today. Yeah, thank you for reminding us that strong relationships really don't happen by accident, right?
They don't.
You got to be intentional about it. You got to be purposeful with it. They take work, right? They take honesty,
investment.
All right, investment, honesty, transparency, and they also should include joy.
Yes.
All right. And so we're about to get up out of here. Thank you both again for being here. Everyone watching it, please go ahead. Please share it, right? Save this in your arsenal if you need to go back and listen to it again. And if you have a question or comment for Michael and Michelle that you did not get a chance to say during our time together, please post it in the chat or inbox
Absolutely.
us, right? You can inbox
Right.
us and we will make sure that they get it so they can respond to you directly. All right. Once again, my name is Sue A. Webley. And until we meet next week, I want you to stay lifted. I want you to stay motivated. But most of all, I want you to stay inspired. See you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.